Friends, a long, long time ago, in an age where cities were encircled by towering walls, stood a bustling metropolis. Guards watched over massive gates, and the royal palaces glittered with the lamps of wealth. Carts rattled down the streets, caravans laden with camels and horses journeyed across distant lands, and the central market buzzed daily like a perpetual fair. In this city lived a renowned diamond merchant, known to all as Seth G, a term of respect for a merchant. He possessed a pouch of jewels so magnificent that anyone who glimpsed it felt their eyes light up with desire. Merchants from faraway lands sought him out, for Seth G's reputation was unblemished. He never cheated on weight, nor did he deceive on price. This honesty brought him respect and immense wealth. Yet where name and fortune attract honor, they also draw the gaze of the greedy. In a corner of the same city lived a thief. He had spent years breaking into small homes and picking pockets, but he harbored a deep longing. If only I could pull off one huge heist, I'd live like a king for the rest of my days. When he heard about Seth G and his fabled diamond pouch, his heart swelled with avarice. If that pouch were mine, he thought, I wouldn't have to steal in the cold or run from the watchman. I'd be rich overnight. He resolved to follow Seth G and seize the pouch at the first opportunity. A few days later, Seth G set out on a 2-day, 2-night journey with a large caravan. The path led through dusty plains and thick forests. As dusk fell, the company would stop at an inn, light a fire, cook, and sleep. The thief stealthily followed, lurking in the shadows. Seth G, however, was perceptive. From a distance he recognized the man was no ordinary traveler. His eyes held a secret, calculating intent. Yet the merchant remained silent, knowing that a battle can often be won with patience and tranquility. On the first night, the caravan rested near the edge of a forest. The fire crackled. The night was silent save for the chorus of crickets. After the meal, everyone settled down. The thief pretended to sleep, planning to wake at midnight and search for the pouch. Seth G, however, had conceived a different plan. He decided not just to catch the thief, but to teach him a lesson that would change the course of his life forever. Around midnight, with the faint moonlight illuminating the camp, Seth G quietly rose. He took his diamond pouch and with extreme stealth he slipped it into the pocket of the sleeping thief. Then he returned to his bed and lay still, feigning deep sleep. At 2 a.m., the thief woke. He peered around. Everyone was asleep. He crept towards Seth G, silently searching. He felt beneath the blanket, lifted the mattress, and checked the cloth belt around the merchant's waist. He searched everywhere, but the pouch was gone. Sweat beaded on his brow. He continued the futile search until morning, finally collapsing from exhaustion. When the sun rose, Seth G quietly got up and before the thief awoke, retrieved the pouch from the thief's pocket and placed it back in his own belongings. The thief remained oblivious. The day's journey resumed. In the evening, the caravan stopped at the next inn. The thief thought, I failed yesterday, but tonight I will succeed. Seth G repeated the exact same strategy. He placed the diamond pouch in the thief's pocket. At midnight, the thief woke again. He meticulously searched Seth G's bed, his sack, even his shoes. But again, nothing. Frustrated and defeated, he closed his eyes and slept. And again, in the morning, Seth G retrieved the priceless treasure from the thief's pocket. The truth within. When the 2-day journey ended and the caravan entered the city gates, the thief fell at Seth G's feet, tears streaming down his face. He clasped his hands and cried, Master, I admit my guilt. My family and I will abandon our criminal life. But please grant me this one favor. Tell me where you hid your pouch. I searched all night long, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Seth G smiled gently. Ah, you fool, he said. You spent the entire night rummaging through others' blankets and sacks. If you had just reached into your own pocket, you would have found the pouch worth millions on the very first night. Remember this: a man spends his whole life looking outward at others, yet he rarely looks within himself. The real wealth is hidden there. The thief was stunned. It was as if a curtain had been lifted from his eyes. His heart trembled, and in that moment he vowed to change his life. As the other merchants dispersed into the crowded lanes, Seth G did not take the thief to the market. Instead, he led him to the city's ancient garden, a serene place with old banyan trees and the scent of jasmine. Sitting beneath a giant banyan, Seth G looked at the man with deep, knowing eyes. Son, he said softly, seeing you reminds me of my own youth. I too was tempted by greed, but I learned that the path of avarice only leads to an empty pit. You were awake for 2 nights, searching for my pouch, and your hands remained empty. Yet the pouch was in your pocket. Life is the same. People seek happiness in others, but true joy is hidden within one's own self. Tears welled in the thief's eyes. In a shaky voice, he said, Seth G, you did not catch me. You held up a mirror to me. I was wrong, but now what can I do? My family has been thieves for generations. Can I truly change? Seth G smiled warmly. Every person can change. The river's water flows constantly, washing away the impurities. If you wish, your life can be cleansed too, but you must work hard, embrace truth, and listen to the voice within. From that day on, Seth G kept the thief with him, not as a servant, but as a disciple. He took him to the markets. He showed him the potter shaping clay, the carpenter crafting wood, and the cloth merchant weaving textiles. Look, Seth G instructed, this is the true wealth, the wealth of honest sweat. They sleep peacefully at night because their earnings are clean. The thief felt a lightness in his chest for the first time. Why shouldn't I choose this path, he thought. The fear and restlessness of stealing are a greater burden than honest labor. Over time, Seth G entrusted the man with increasing responsibilities, teaching him accounting and warehouse management. People were hesitant, whispering, He's a thief. Don't trust him. But Seth G calmed them. The true identity of a person is their present, not their past, he stated. A heart given a chance can always be reformed. The thief began to change his ways. Whenever a spark of greed arose, he remembered Seth G's words, The real pouch is in your heart, and his mind grew steady. One day, a massive fair came to the city. Merchants from all over gathered, and Seth G displayed his finest jewels. Standing next to his disciple, he said, This, son, is honest trade. Here, trust is what we sell. People know me, and they buy my goods without suspicion. That night, after the fair closed, the former thief quietly told his mentor, Master, today I felt peace for the first time. The sweetness in honesty is something theft could never offer. Seth G nodded. Remember, son, true wealth is what gives peace to the heart. Theft may fill the pocket, but it steals your sleep. Hard work might fill the pocket slowly, but the sleep is sweet. The disciple's resolve hardened. He became utterly devoted to Seth G's service, cleaning the shop, running errands, and respectfully welcoming customers. The same hands that once stole now offered water and packed goods. Slowly, the townspeople began to see his transformed character. Children who once feared him now came for treats he kindly offered. Then, word spread, dacoits had camped near the city. Fear gripped the merchants. Seth G looked at his disciple. The moment of true testing is here, he said. When fear arrives, one's true character is revealed. Guard the diamonds, but more importantly, guard the mirror in your heart. The disciple stood firm. Master, he replied, my heart is steady now. I will protect your trust, even if it costs me my life. A few days later, the dacoits attacked. As chaos erupted in the market, the disciple stood before Seth G's shop. This property belongs to my master, he declared to the bandits. You have no right to it. If you want to take it, you'll have to crush me first. The dacoits were astonished. The man who was once a thief was now standing as a guardian. His resolve was so fierce that they hesitated. Other townspeople, inspired by his courage, rallied beside him. Together, they drove the dacoits away. That day, the entire city cheered him. The man we called a thief has become our protector, they exclaimed. Tears fell from Seth G's eyes. He embraced his disciple. My son, you have proven that the true pouch is in your heart. You are no longer poor, but the greatest master of all, the master of your own soul. In time, the former thief became a respected merchant. Seth G gradually entrusted his entire business to him. The man, now known as Seth Balak Dace, Balak meaning child or young one, remained humble. He often shared his story with children. I didn't check my own pocket for 2 nights, and the fortune was right there. Life is the same. Happiness is not found outside, but within. The one who finds it is the truly rich man. Moral of the story is the greatest treasure is not found outside, but is hidden within yourself. Honesty and self-reflection bring the only lasting peace and wealth. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget